Okay, now back to the experience, and that is the return ride from the event that we drove down to, and this return ride was near the end of the day, later in the afternoon. And so I didn't think of her, I wasn't thinking of her, there was nothing spectacular, except for that was pretty interesting to feel that, but I really didn't, I was disbelieving of anything. As I've mentioned before, I wasn't looking. I was married, so I'm not really, wasn't looking in that way. And I considered any type of energies like that as being attraction energies. With somebody I shouldn't be having attraction energies with, just animal magnetism, you could say. So I just discounted it as not worthy of further attention. And so for the rest of the day, I was at the event, didn't think about her, I didn't muse my head, ponder about it, not that I recall anyhow. And at the end of the day, I picked her up at our pre-arranged location, and we took off. And it seemed to pick up right where it left. And here's where the great encounter happened. Is we were about halfway home, and then I told her of an experience where somebody told me what I needed to do, because I asked this person what I needed to do to improve who I am and to become more of a greater person, a better person. And this person told me, Ted told me, and I relayed what Ted said to Corinne. And let me back up here a little bit. When Ted told me, I go, okay, well, that wasn't really anything astounding. Basically, he said, be nice, kind, help, serve people, and that was basically it. And I go, okay, well, I thought it was that way already, so I didn't really think it was anything astounding. However, when I told Corinne these words, she perked up and she kind of jumped out of her skin. She goes, that's it. She said, the hair standing up on my arms, that's it. And I'm looking at her, I'm going, wow, you are like 20 times more excited about receiving that information that I received than I was when I heard it myself. And I go, that's very strange that she would respond like that. And why would she respond like that? Why would she respond like that with the hair staining on her arm? I just couldn't, I go, this is weird, this is strange. I mean, not that I didn't appreciate it. I'm glad that somebody was happy over my path and my journey in life and improving myself, but for somebody to react like that, I wouldn't even think, I know my current wife, wouldn't respond like that, and nobody on the planet would respond like that. And so there's a little clue, I guess, right there, that nobody on the planet would respond like that but this person. And I just was astounded that she was reacting like that. So, okay, so then that's the second experience on this ride down and ride up. Now we're on the ride back, like I said. And so then something else happens on this ride back. And what happens is my heart starts feeling this incredible pull and magnetism toward her. It was very intense. And I'm thinking, this has got to be animal magnetism. This has to be sexual energies. This has to be a sexual attraction, because it was just so intense. And I've felt like things like that before, not to this degree, but it was pulling in my heart. My heart felt like it was coming out of my chest, and I'm looking at her and I'm going, what's going on here? And I have to confess that this was going on for like a couple minutes, and I felt like leaning over and kissing her. I confess that. But I didn't. I said, no, you can't do that, Michael. What are you thinking of? You cannot do that. And this is definitely sexual energies, and this is a red flag. You cannot go there. Do not go there. And I did not go there. I didn't even lean over. I just had this strong impression to kiss her. And I think she would have kissed me back because I think she was feeling the very same thing I was. At least that was my feeling of it. And that's a common theme throughout these videos, is that often I see that we're feeling the same thing toward each other at the same time. And I'll explain that later, and I'll give other testimonials to that effect. But I felt that she was feeling the same thing, and if I would have leaned over to kiss her, she would have kissed me back. She would have received it. But I didn't. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I'm married. And that was foreboding. That thought was foreboding. That feeling was foreboding. And I had to reject it. I did reject it. I didn't cross the line. And she couldn't tell on the outer that I felt any of that. But I was feeling on the inner very intensely. Now, so then we get home. I get home. I drop her off. And there's nothing, she smiles. I smile. We say bye. And I just thought, this is total sexual energy. I can't involve myself with this. This is not a good thing. And I just said goodbye. She said goodbye. And then I went home to my wife.